Last year, the story of the nanny in China who was accused of setting fire to her employer's apartment, killing the mother and her 3 children, took Chinese social media by storm. The news story seemed to bring together a number of issues that are major talking points in contemporary Chinese culture. And the case has once again been trending on Chinese social media after the nanny was sentenced to death by a court in Hangzhou. Carrie Allen, a Chinese media analyst from BBC Monitoring, has been following the story and told us more.
This was a huge case back in June last year, a massive fire outside of an apartment building in eastern Hangzhou in the city. What had happened is a mother and 3 children had been killed, and it involved the nanny, a woman called Mo Huanjing, who had gambling debts and decided that she wanted to start a fire and then stop it in order to try and get some compensation or some money from her employer. And obviously it went really badly wrong, and yes, she's been sentenced today.
And it sparked quite a debate, hasn't it, in China about middle-class families in China using domestic workers?
It has, yes. Not just middle-class families. There was a lot of debate last year about the screening process for domestic workers and people who work with children in general. There were a lot of cases last year where there were physical abuse cases to do with children in schools, where children were knocked about and they hadn't been screened. And it was the same with domestic workers, that there were these incidents like this. I mean, this case was absolutely huge in China. People knew it as the 22nd of June nanny arson case, and that hashtag in itself became known. People are using that again today to talk about the case. But yeah, they've been saying that you really can't trust who's with your children, and there should be better government protection and screening processes involved so that these people that might be a potential risk can be identified.
She's been sentenced to death, and I know there have been millions of people commenting on Weibo and other social media sites about the case. How have they reacted to the sentence?
More or less unanimously. I remember back in June last year, people were saying that she needed to get the death penalty. They were saying she should get it. They were saying, how could you actually involve children in a fire? People today, the majority of comments are saying she got what she deserved. And gambling is actually, it's illegal in China. So the idea that she had massive gambling debts anyway was something that horrified people.
Carrie Allen from BBC Monitoring.